bit of a different one for you today. I went to the cinema today, and it is the 6th of April. And in case you haven't seen my TikTok, you will not know that I am a big fan of Six the Musical, which you can't tell from the Sorry Not Sorry t-shirt. And so today I saw the pro cut of Six the Musical that was recorded 3 years ago in cinemas, and I'm going to give you a review today. Welcome back, or if you are new here, welcome. My name is Katrina, and I make bookish content as well as movie content here on this channel every week. And all of my movie reviews are spoiler free. I will leave you a playlist of my regular movie reviews if that's what you've come here for. Feel free to click away onto one of these. And basically at the end of every movie review, you know I tell you, should you pay your cinema going money to go and see this one? Now, this one is a little bit different because this is classed as event cinema. So whilst I have my Limitless card and I see most movies for free unless I'm paying the IMAX upgrade, which I do for Marvel films and Disney films that are filmed with IMAX cameras, I am generally not paying to see these films. However, because this is classed as event cinema, I did actually pay to go and see this one. I paid to go and see it once today and once on Tuesday. So it was released today, the 6th of April, the 6th, and I paid £20 for my cinema seat to go and see this one today. I think it completely depends what cinema you're going to, but my sort of two cinemas that I switched between, they were somewhere in the £20 to £25 bracket, depending where you sat in the cinema. I have seen this on tour, so I have seen this at Aylesbury Waterside Theatre, I have seen it at Milton Keynes Theatre, I've seen it in both of those venues twice, and then I have seen it in the Vaudeville Theatre twice on my own, then five times in the Vaudeville Theatre. I feel like that's wrong, I feel like I might have seen it another time there. Anyway, so I've seen it in various different seats, and going to see this one, I was a little bit worried. I was very excited because this is the original West End cast, the sort of cast who went from the Edinburgh Fringe workshopping to take it to the London West End and transferred it to various different theatres. And this is the cast recording soundtrack cast. So the one that I sing along to in the car, this is them, seeing them, not live, but seeing them perform it on stage. Now, it was filmed across, I think, 4 or 5 different performances. So they then obviously took cuts of it. And let me tell you, they have made like the most amazing cuts. It is like going to see this show from every seat in the theatre. So I've seen it from a box, I've seen it from front row, I've seen it from second row, I've seen it from like fourth row, I've seen it from the middle of the stalls, I've seen it from the middle of the circle, and then I've seen it from the access seats in Aylesbury Theatre are kind of before where then it goes up steps in the stall, so it's quite far back, so I've seen it from there as well. I've never seen it from high up, but with this cut, you get to see it from every single perspective, but then you also get to zoom in on each of the 6 queens, so you get to see the costumes up close. You get to see their like minor facial expressions that you only really see if you're watching from those front few rows. And then you get to see the ladies in waiting, the 4-piece band on the stage up close as well, which I thought was great, where they were talking about, where they were introducing each of the ladies in waiting at the beginning of the show, and then in the Mega 6 at the end, and they zoom in on each of the performers so you can see them. And so when they're introducing each one, you can clearly see those ladies in waiting. And that was really cool because you would never ever be able to see that. Even if you're sat in the front row, they are up high above you, and so you can't really ever see them up close like that. There are some shots as well which come from the wings quite clearly, so you see the lineup of the ladies or the profiles of them, of the queens, from the side as well, which I just thought was amazing. Obviously the performances were fantastic because they took the best of each performance, and these are the queens who have recorded the original cast recording soundtrack. It was an odd experience seeing it in the cinema. I have been to other theatre performances in the cinema before, I've seen Waitress the Musical in the cinema. I've seen a live streamed version of Rocky Horror in the cinema as well. So that was a bit different because it was completely live. So it was streaming out to cinemas. And so they did want audience participation in that one and people did clap. And then I have also definitely seen something else, like theatre performance. Oh, I had a private performance of Everybody's Talking About Jamie, um, in the theatre in the cinema in Denver, where it was a really big auditorium, and I was literally the only person in there. So much so that they forgot to start the film, and I phoned them and said, "Could you put the film on, please?" That was a weird experience. But seeing it in the cinema, I kept going to clap, and I kept going to clap along as well, and it was quite a full cinema screen, but there was a lot of children in there. Now, for there being so many children in there, I really didn't notice the children. They were very well behaved. It does have a 12A rating, so be aware of that if you're thinking of taking a younger child to go and see this. As I say, in my cinema, it was only playing Sunday and Tuesday, and then it's sort of starting again next Sunday. But I know in a lot of cinemas, they're basically showing it all week, so this is why I'm getting this out to you now. But it does have a 12A rating, but there were a lot of children very clearly under 12 there. There was one family where they had these two little boys with them, and I was quite surprised that those two little boys, they only went to the toilet once during the whole thing, and they were really, really well behaved. So that shows you the magnetism of Six. But that was the thing for me, was that it was weird that you couldn't kind of clap and cheer along. And I automatically was like listening to the song and sort of tapping away, and then automatically went to go and sit up and clap at the end of it. Don't know, it was this like reflex, and I'm like, nope, nobody else is clapping. Do let me know in comments if you went to see this today and people in your theatre clapped, because I want to go where I can actually clap, because it feels wrong not clapping at the end of each of those numbers and then clapping along at the end. It just felt like, oh, I'm kind of sitting here very quietly, like I'm being on my best behaviour. The other bit that was absolutely amazing, not only did you get to see it from like every seat perspective in the theatre, you also got a bonus mini documentary before the show actually started. So my show time was an 11:45 show time, the first one of the day, and the mini documentary started at literally 11:50. So just be aware of that if you're going to see it. Don't give yourself your usual 20 minutes. I know that this is like an 89-minute show, and it's given me a 2-hour window, so I know it's not gonna start straight away, because otherwise it would just be a 90-minute thing. But I thought it would be trailers and that beforehand, but it wasn't. It was a fabulous little documentary. You got to hear from each of the 6 queens. You got to see a little bit from Toby and Lucy, the creators, and you got to see a little bit about the journey, which I thought was great, because this will be a lot of people's first time seeing Six, being able to see it in cinemas, not having to go and find it in the theatre or try and get the hot ticket when it's on tour as well. So that was a real bonus. There was a moment where it was a little bit different, and they really played with the fact that they were filming it, and so they could do something ever so slightly different during the final Queen song. So during Catherine Parr's song, they made a editorial, directorial, cinematographic choice, which I'm not going to say because it would be a spoiler. But I thought it was different. I didn't necessarily like it, but I thought they've used the fact that they're filming this and people are watching this in cinemas as opposed to in the theatre to make this that little bit different. So yes, as you can tell, I absolutely loved it. I can't wait to go again. I'm very excited. And should you pay your cinema going money to go and see this one, it is expensive. Like, it's not the normal price of a cinema ticket. However, it's still cheaper than most of the theatre tickets that you would pay for these. So I think that sometimes you would pay for the very sort of cheapest tickets for the touring production. You might pay a little bit less than £20. Or if you're getting a Today Tix rush ticket, you would be paying £25 to go and see this one. However, you're not getting it live, but you are getting the best seat you could possibly get. So you're getting that variety of shots, you're getting to see things close up, you're getting interesting camera angles, interesting lighting, and professional sound quality. So should you pay your cinema going money to go and see this one? Yes, absolutely. And if this one comes to some sort of streaming service, you should all watch it immediately for that brilliant dopamine hit. The documentary beforehand is a lovely bonus, and hopefully your audience is as well behaved as my audience. As always, if there is a particular movie you want me to go and watch next week and bring my thoughts to you here, please do let me know in comments. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If anyone was clapping in your cinema, let me know in comments. I need to go there next time. Make sure you're subscribed, hit that notification bell, because I do have some bookish content coming your way this week, and I will see you with my next video. Thanks for watching. Woo!